Ever wonder what happens when daring riders push their luck a little too much? Oh my, folks, you're in for a treat. Because, you know how it is, right? Sometimes it really grinds your gears when you see people on the road acting like they own the whole street, like they have superpowers or something. Well, today we're gonna see what happens when their powers run out and Karma decides to say, "Hey there, nice to meet ya." Get ready to laugh, cringe, and maybe learn a thing or two about what not to do on a motorcycle. Today, we're counting down the top 10 reckless riders who got instant karma. From show-offs who think they're in a movie, to those who just completely forget the rules of the road, we've got it all. It's crazy, I promise. I've seen so many of these during my own drives, and I'm sure you have too. It's like they're collecting traffic tickets like trading cards, right? But today, we're not just watching them mess up. We're celebrating the sweet, sweet justice that comes right after. So hold on tight, friends. This is gonna be a wild ride, and you won't want to miss a single second of the action. We've put together the most unbelievable, jaw-dropping, and honestly super satisfying videos for you to watch. And let me tell you, the #1 spot is something else. It's the perfect ending of instant karma. So, make sure you stick around till the end for the craziest video. Now let's get this countdown started. Let's go! Alright, kicking off our list at number 10 is a classic, folks. Picture this, a busy street crossing, cars patiently waiting for the light to turn green. But of course, there's always one who thinks they're special. Here comes our rider dude, probably thinking he's exempt from traffic rules. He sees the red light not as a stop sign but more like a friendly suggestion like, "Hey, maybe slow down a bit?" Oh no, you got it all wrong, dude. He probably thought, "I can still make it," while revving his engine like he's about to start a big race. With way too much confidence, he zooms past all the stopped cars. You can almost hear him thinking, "Suckers, I'm so much faster than all of you." He probably even had a little smirk under his helmet, feeling super proud of his shortcut. For a glorious 2 seconds, he was the king of the road, the boss of the crossing. He was winning at life. Or so he thought. The nerve, right? Like he didn't care about anyone else. But wait, what's that? Just as he crosses the walking area, a police officer, who was conveniently parked just around the corner, sees everything. It's like something out of a funny movie. The officer just calmly steps out, raises his hand and tells Rider Dude to stop right there. The look on the rider's face, even with a helmet on, you can just feel that "oh shoot" moment. His big ego just popped like a balloon. From feeling like the king of the world to a scolded kid in a flash. The officer walks over and you know what's coming next. The dreaded, "License and registration please." Rider Dude, who was in such a hurry, is now going to be stuck for a very, very long time. He tried to save a few seconds but ended up with a ticket and a lecture. There you go, instant payback served fresh and hot by our friendly neighborhood traffic cop. Lesson learned, dude? Red means stop, not start your own race. The other drivers who waited patiently probably had a good laugh. It's a satisfying sight, isn't it? Seeing someone who thinks they're above the rules get a dose of reality right then and there. That's why he's our number 10. A perfect little treat before we dig into the main course of crazy riders today. Coming in at number 9, we have a rider who wanted to be the star of the show. These are the types who really love to show off, especially when there's a crowd watching. We're in the middle of slow-moving traffic, cars inching forward, everyone's bored. But not for our aspiring stuntman. He sees this as his stage, his moment to shine. He probably thought, time to show these peasants some real skill. He acted like he had an audience from America's Got Talent, you know? So what does he do? He revs his engine, vroom, vroom, to get everyone's attention. Then, with a flick of the wrist and a shift in his weight, he pops a wheelie. For a brief moment, he's up on one wheel feeling like a daredevil. He's probably imagining the slow-motion replays in his head, the crowd going wild. He's the main character and we're all just side characters in his video game. The confidence is overflowing, folks. But here's the thing about traffic. It's unpredictable. And here's the thing about wheelies. They require, actual skill and balance. As he's showing off, the car in front of him brakes a little more suddenly than he expected. He wobbles. Once, twice. The front wheel comes crashing down but the balance is gone. His glorious moment in the spotlight turns into a clumsy, awkward dance with gravity. And gravity, my friends, always wins. The bike tips over and he goes down with it. Not in a cool, fiery explosion but in a slow, embarrassing tumble right in the middle of the road. All the people he wanted to impress are now just staring, some probably hiding their laughter. The car horns he thought were applause are now probably honking in annoyance. The shame, the secondhand embarrassment is real. He scrambles to pick up his bike, his face probably as red as a stoplight. All that effort to look cool, only to end up looking like a total clown. He went from, "check out my awesome trick," to, "please pretend you didn't see that," in 5 seconds flat. That, my friends, is what we call a wheelie gone wrong. And a perfect example of karma telling you to just keep both wheels on the ground in traffic. Ah, impatience. It's a trait our number 8 rider has in spades. We've all been there, stuck in a long line of cars, traffic is barely moving. It's frustrating, I get it. But most of us just sigh, turn up the music and wait. But not this guy. Oh no, he's too important for that. The rules of waiting in line are for mere mortals, not for him. He's got places to be, people to see, or so he tells himself. He sees the emergency shoulder, that empty strip of pavement on the side of the road. In his mind, it's not for emergencies, it's his personal express lane. A VIP pass to bypass all the common folk. So, with a sense of entitlement that is just off the charts, he veers off the main road and starts speeding down the shoulder. He's flying past all the stopped cars, probably feeling like a genius. Look at all these idiots waiting, he might be thinking. He's weaving, he's speeding, he's the king of his own dusty highway. He's making great time. What could possibly go wrong, right? He's so focused on overtaking everyone that he fails to see what's right in front of him. A concrete barrier. A small, unassuming but very, very solid barrier that marks a drainage canal or the start of a guardrail. It's been there the whole time, but in his haste, it was invisible to him. The moment of realization comes too late. There's no time to brake, no time to swerve back into traffic. It's a date with destiny, or in this case, a date with a concrete block. He hits it head on. The bike stops instantly, but he doesn't. He goes flying for a bit before crashing down onto the dusty shoulder he thought was his salvation. A cloud of dust and shattered plastic fills the air. Instant. Karma. He tried to cut a few minutes off his travel time and ended up with a broken bike and probably a few broken bones. The very people he was so eager to overtake are now slowly driving past the scene of his self-inflicted accident, probably shaking their heads. Patience is a virtue, my friend, and the shoulder is for emergencies, not for entitled Kamotes in a hurry. A well-deserved spot at number 8. Our number 7 spot goes to a rider who thinks the road is a slalom course. You know the type. The one who treats lane markers as optional decorations. ETO young rider not feeling Nia NASA action movie Sia, swerving in and out of lanes like a snake chasing its prey. Zigzag here, zigzag there. He's not just changing lanes, he's creating his own lanes in between cars. Sobrang delicado, diba? He's probably running late, or maybe he's just addicted to the adrenaline rush. He sees a gap, no matter how small, and he goes for it. He's cutting people off, forcing drivers to hit their brakes. He's a menace, a disaster waiting to happen. In his mind, he's a skilled rider, a master of maneuvering. In reality, he's just a public nuisance with a death wish, causing stress to everyone around him. He successfully swerves past a sedan, then a van. He's on a roll. His confidence is building with every car he leaves behind. He spots another gap between a bus and an SUV. It's tight, but for a pro like him, it's a piece of cake. He leans into the turn, ready to thread the needle one more time. He's so focused on the gap ahead that he doesn't pay attention to the vehicles around him. But here's the thing about swerving through traffic. You're invisible to other drivers until it's too late. The SUV he's trying to cut in front of decides to change lanes at the exact same moment, and the driver definitely did not see our snake rider coming. The side of the SUV connects with the motorcycle. It's not a huge crash, but it's enough to send our rider tumbling. He gets sideswiped, losing control and skidding across the pavement. His grand display of skill ends with him sitting on the asphalt, watching his bike slide away from him. The very cars he was so desperately trying to get ahead of now have to stop and navigate around his mess. Karma works fast, doesn't it? If you ride like a snake, don't be surprised when you get bitten. A hard lesson in sharing the road. At number 6, we have a case that's less about flashy stunts and more about basic common sense. Or the lack of it. Our featured rider for this spot decided that today was a good day to leave his helmet at home. Maybe it was messing up his hair, maybe he felt the wind in his hair was worth the risk. Malapit lang naman, he probably told himself, the famous last words of many a Kamote rider. So there he is, cruising down the road, hair flowing, feeling free. He thinks he's the coolest guy around. He doesn't need a helmet. Helmets are for nerds, for people who aren't as skilled as he is. He's invincible. He's got this. The law is just a suggestion, and safety is for other people. This level of confidence is almost admirable if it weren't so incredibly stupid. He's enjoying his breezy ride, probably thinking about what he's going to have for lunch. When he turns a corner, and what does he see? A sight that strikes fear into the hearts of Kamote riders everywhere, a police checkpoint. Oh, the beautiful, beautiful sight of a police checkpoint when you're following all the rules. But for our helmetless hero, it's his worst nightmare. His face drops. The cool guy vibe evaporates instantly. He probably thought about making a run for it, doing a quick U-turn, but it's too late. The officers have already spotted him. He's caught. An officer flags him down, and you can see the rider's shoulders slump in defeat. There's no talking his way out of this one. The evidence is right there, or rather, the lack of evidence of a helmet is right there on his head. He pulls over, and the officer is already pulling out his ticket book. It's an open and shut case. No helmet, no luck. He gets a ticket, a fine, and a long lecture about road safety, All that trouble just because he couldn't be bothered to wear a simple piece of safety equipment. Remember, netizens, the helmet is not just to avoid a ticket, it's to save your life. But for this guy, it was an instant ticket to a bad day. Cracking our top 5 is a rider who thinks the public roads are his personal racetrack, especially at night. When the streets are empty and the world is asleep, this guy comes alive. He sees the open road not as a way to get from point A to point B, but as a drag strip. The sound of his engine roaring through the quiet night is his anthem. He's living his life a quarter mile at a time, except it's a public road with lampposts and potholes. Tonight, he's pushing it. He's going way over the speed limit. The world is a blur of streetlights streaking past him. He feels the G-force, the adrenaline pumping through his veins. He's probably crouched low over the handlebars, trying to be as aerodynamic as possible, imagining he's Valentino Rossi on the final lap. He is speed. He is power. He is about to lose control. The thing about racing at night is that your visibility is limited. You can't see imperfections in the road. You can't anticipate hazards. He's going into a slight curve, a turn he's probably taken 100 times at normal speed. But at this velocity, the physics are completely different. He hits a small, almost invisible bump in the road. At a slower speed, it would be nothing. At his speed, it's a launch pad. The bike becomes unsettled. The rear wheel loses traction for just a split second. That's all it takes. The bike starts to fishtail violently. He tries to correct it, but he's not a professional racer, and this isn't a closed circuit. He's out of his league. The bike goes into a high-side crash, bucking him off like an angry bull. He and the bike go sliding and tumbling down the asphalt for what seems like an eternity, a shower of sparks lighting up the dark street. His need for speed resulted in a high-speed meeting with the pavement. The silence that follows the crash is deafening. All that noise and fury ending in a painful, expensive, and lonely wipeout. A brutal reminder from karma that racetracks are for racing, and public roads are not. At number 4, we have a lesson in personal space, served up fresh and dirty. Our rider here is a classic tailgater. He's riding so close to the vehicle in front of him, you'd think they were trying to merge into one super vehicle. The vehicle in front happens to be a large truck, and our Kamote rider is glued to its rear bumper. Why? Maybe he thinks he's slipstreaming to save fuel. Maybe he's just impatient and wants to intimidate the truck driver into moving over. Whatever his reason, it's incredibly dangerous and frankly, super annoying. He's in the truck driver's blind spot, and if that truck needs to brake suddenly, our rider is going to become a permanent part of its bumper. But common sense is not on the menu for him today. He stays right there, revving his engine, being a general pest. He's so close he can probably read the fine print on the truck's mud flaps. And speaking of mud flaps, here's where karma decides to get creative. The truck is driving along a road that's a bit damp, maybe it rained earlier. It approaches a large, unavoidable puddle of muddy water. The truck driver sitting high up in his cabin probably doesn't even think twice about it. He just drives straight through it. For the truck, it's just a splash. But for our tailgating friend, it's a tidal wave. The truck's massive tires hit the puddle and send a giant arc of brown, gritty, disgusting water flying directly backwards. And who is perfectly positioned to receive this special delivery? You guessed it. Our rider gets completely, utterly drenched. It's a full-on mud bath. From his helmet to his boots, he is covered in filth. He's forced to brake and wipe his visor, which is now just a sheet of brown sludge. The taste of muddy justice must be terrible. He wanted to be close to the truck, and karma said, "Okay, here you go, have a taste." The truck drives on, completely unaware of the instant karma it just delivered. Our rider is left on the side of the road, wet, dirty, and hopefully, a little bit wiser about keeping a safe distance. We're in the top 3, folks, and the stakes are getting higher. Our number 3 Kamote rider has a problem with people walking. He sees a pedestrian lane, not as a place to slow down and let people cross, but as a personal challenge. Crossing, right in front of me, is probably what he's thinking. He believes his ride is way more important than keeping someone safe. So here's what happened. A busy street, and someone is waiting patiently to cross at the special lane. The walk light is on. The person takes a step onto the crosswalk, trusting that cars will stop like they're supposed to. Most cars are slowing down, but our rider? Oh, he's in his own world. He sees the person crossing, but instead of stopping, he decides to speed up and go around them. It's a scary moment. The rider zips right in front of the person, missing them by just a tiny bit. The person has to jump back in shock, probably seeing their whole life flash before their eyes. It's the kind of rude behavior that makes you really mad. The rider probably felt excited like he won because he didn't have to stop. He didn't hit the person, so no big deal, right? Wrong. So wrong. Because just like in our number 10 video, what goes around comes around. A police officer standing on the other side of the street saw the whole scary thing. The officer's face went from just looking around to super serious in a flash. He saw how little this rider cared about someone's life, and he was not going to let it slide. He immediately blew his whistle and told our wild rider to stop. The rider's win didn't last long, he had to pull over, and you could see the officer was super angry. This wasn't just a simple traffic ticket, this was putting someone's life in danger. The person who almost got hit, who is safe but still shaky, pointed at the rider, confirming what the officer saw. This Kamote is about to get a huge telling off plus a ticket that's going to cost him a lot of money. A scary reminder to always let people cross. Our runner-up for the top spot is a rider who loves to be heard. I mean really heard. From 3 blocks away. This is the guy with the modified open-pipe exhaust that sounds like a cannon going off every time he accelerates. He thinks the louder his bike is, the cooler he is. He loves startling people, setting off car alarms, and generally announcing his presence with the subtlety of a thunderclap. He's cruising through a residential area, probably late at night, making a ridiculous amount of noise. Vroom! Pop, pop, bang! He's revving his engine at every stop, enjoying the cacophony he's creating. He probably thinks it sounds powerful and impressive. To everyone else, people trying to sleep, families with babies, anyone with functioning ears, it just sounds obnoxious. He's a one-man noise pollution machine. He's so pleased with himself making all that racket. He feels like the king of the streets, his thunderous roar parting the traffic before him. He's the center of attention, just like he wants to be, but he's attracting the wrong kind of attention. As he's revving his engine at a stoplight, a police patrol car quietly pulls up alongside him. The officers inside have probably been hearing him for the last 5 minutes. The light turns green and he gives it one more mighty ear-splitting vroom as he takes off. That's the final straw. The police car flashes its lights and sirens. The sound of the siren easily cuts through the noise of his exhaust. The rider's heart must have sunk. He's been caught red-handed, or in this case, loud-piped. He pulls over, and the officers get out. They don't look happy. They point to his exhaust pipe, and you know exactly what the conversation is about. That illegal, deafening modification is about to cost him. He gets a ticket for violating noise regulations, and sometimes they even confiscate the illegal pipe on the spot. His quest to be loud resulted in a loud ticket and an even louder lesson in being considerate. A truly satisfying piece of karma for our number 2 spot. And here it is, MGA Netizens, the moment you've all been waiting for, the number 1, the creme de la creme, the ultimate Kamote karma clip. This rider is not just guilty of one mistake, he goes for the Kamote combo platter. He is the final boss of reckless riding. What is he doing? He's texting while riding. Yes, you heard that right. He's trying to navigate traffic with one hand on the handlebars and the other holding his precious smartphone. He's riding slowly, swerving a little, completely engrossed in his chat. He's probably replying to something very important, like ha 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 or K. The world around him might as well not exist. Cars, pedestrians, traffic lights, they are all secondary to his digital conversation. The level of stupidity is just breathtaking. It's a miracle he hasn't crashed already. He's a danger to himself and everyone else on the road. He's trying to type a reply, his thumb fumbling on the screen. And then, it happens. The moment of pure, unadulterated karma. His grip on the phone loosens and it slips from his hand. He watches in horror as his expensive smartphone tumbles through the air in slow motion, landing with a sickening clack on the asphalt. His world stops. The very important message is forgotten. All that matters is his fallen phone. He immediately panics and stops his bike right in the middle of the lane to retrieve it, causing cars behind him to brake hard. But his bad day is just getting started. As he's bending down to pick up the pieces of his shattered screen and shattered life, a traffic enforcer who was managing the intersection spots him. The enforcer sees the phone on the ground, sees the bike stopped in the middle of traffic, and puts 2 and 2 together. The enforcer walks over, and our rider is caught in the act. He's got a broken phone in one hand, and a ticket for distracted driving and obstructing traffic in the other. It's a trifecta of failure. He was distracted, he created a hazard, he broke his phone, and he got caught. This clip has everything. It's the perfect storm of stupidity and instant regret. And that, my friends, is why he is the undisputed number 1 Kamote rider getting instant karma. And that's a wrap, MGA Canads. What a countdown. From red light runners to texting riders, we've seen it all. It's funny to watch, but it's also a huge reminder of what can happen when you're reckless on the road. These clips show that karma, or sometimes just a well-placed traffic enforcer, is always watching. So please, to all our viewers who ride and even to those who drive cars, let's learn from their mistakes. Remember, safety first. Don't be a Kamote rider, ride responsibly. The goal is to get to your destination safely, not to be the star of our next compilation video. Which clip shocked you the most? Was it the guy who got a mud bath or the ultimate Kamote who dropped his phone? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you guys. And your stories are what make this community so much fun. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more compilations, fails, and vlogs, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update from Nad's Mix Vlog. Your support means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. It was so much fun sharing these clips with you. Stay safe on the roads, be kind to one another, and always wear your helmet. Until the next video, this is your girl signing off. Bye, netizens. Mwah!